Hey guys. You are here to learn about Visual Latin and how to use it. First, before I tell you how to use it, let me tell you what my goals are for you. Number one, by the end of this course, I want you to be able to read in Latin. How cool would that be? Not too many people can read in Latin. What if you joined that number? I want you to be able to read sections of the New Testament and classical authors in Latin and understand what you're reading. Number two, I want you to learn grammar in this course. Not just Latin grammar, but guess what? You'll actually learn English grammar as well. And I know you're like, oh, come on, not grammar. I hate grammar. Hey, I hated grammar. I stunk so bad at grammar that I had a hard time getting through middle school and high school because of English grammar. And it wasn't until I learned Latin that it all made sense to me. And I'm going to take it and break it down piece by piece. And in each video, I'm going to teach you another grammatical concept, another grammar concept. And over time, little by little, you're going to understand it. And it's going to make sense to you. Latin grammar is going to make sense to you. And guess what? In the process, English grammar will begin to make more sense to you. I know, because that's how I learned English grammar, by going and learning other languages, especially Latin, and it worked. Number three, you are going to learn tons of new Latin vocabulary, so you're going to learn to say things in Latin and learn to identify things in Latin, but in the process, you'll actually learn a whole lot more English words in Latin, because English didn't come from Latin, but it was influenced by Latin. We talked about that in another video. You're going to pick up a lot of vocabulary words just by learning Latin. So those are some of my goals. And my final goal in this course, and probably the most important one, is to prove Augustus Caesar wrong. Augustus Caesar said years ago in one of his books, there is no way that the Latin language can be learned by DVD or digital download. I mean, come on. What is an iPad or an iPod or a smartphone? You know what? He was wrong. And it's time to prove him wrong. So how is this going to work? How am I going to get you to learn Latin using a video series? Here's the beautiful thing about video series. If you get stuck, if you bump into something hard, if it becomes too difficult, you can pause it, rewind it, and watch it again. That's the way the Romans did it. How do you think they all learned Latin? They watched DVDs, and when they got done, when they were confused, they rewound it and watched it again. Yeah, maybe. Look, it's hard. It will get hard. You're going to get frustrated. That's okay. I'm going to take you through little by little, piece by piece. If you break it down, if you break any massive goal down, it's not that bad. But I'm going to give you a piece of advice, something I do whenever I get annoyed or frustrated or depressed. When I get down and I just can't get out of it, I imagine a T-Rex attempting to put on a hat. And when I do that, it cheers me up. So if all else fails, you're trying to learn Latin and you just get stuck, imagine a T-Rex trying to put on a hat. Visual Latin is divided into, each lesson is divided into 3 parts. There's a section where I teach you the grammar of the language. There's a section where I take that grammar and I put it into a whole bunch of sentences on the board, Latin sentences with Latin words, and we go through those sentences together, sentence by sentence, word by word, so that you see how this language works. And then the third part, I read to you from a reader that we developed for this course that starts off very, very easy and ends up being unabridged sections of the New Testament in Latin. So you go from easy to difficult. Some people break it down in different ways. Look, if you're a quick learner, you can rush through the whole course. You can take the lesson and plow through it all in one day. If you're younger, or if you just don't get it, if you're like me and it takes multiple times through for it to sink in, then you can spread it out over the course of a couple of weeks. It doesn't matter. Some of my students will watch the grammar section on Monday and then do the worksheets on Tuesday, then watch the sentences on the board on Wednesday, then do the worksheets on the sentence worksheets on Thursday, then they'll watch the reading section on Friday and follow along. And as I'm reading to them, by the way, the words are appearing on the screen, and so they're seeing the words, they're hearing the words, they can even pause and repeat the words. The language is coming at their head from all different directions, which you need to do if you're going to learn a language. You got to practice speaking it and reading it. And then on Saturday, they'll review everything if they need to. And then on Sunday, I tell them, hey, take the day off. Go watch videos on YouTube of really cute kittens, or goats that sound like humans. Or if you're not into that, you could go skydiving. Or if you're afraid of heights, you could do what I do. Just zoom in on Google Earth or Google Maps rapidly. So it feels like you're skydiving, but you're just sitting there at your computer with a cup of coffee. In the end, after you go through this entire course, my goal for you is to be able to read in Latin. That's my primary goal for you. But you're going to pick up other things along the way. But my primary goal for you is to be able to read in Latin. Let's jump right in. Let's go into the first lesson and let's get started.